You know, an ugly win is still a win.
Well,
an ugly win is still a win.
That's true, and it was ugly. I mean, let's call it for what it is. Phillies leaving runners on base left and right. Boom, emotional. Strom blows it in the 8th inning. But let's focus on the but. The Eagles win. The Phillies win. The Phillies win last night. They get a victory, Hugh, in extra innings. Marsh with the big hit. How about Otto Kemp? The little boost. Hugh, that was the kind of game last night they needed. They just needed that.
Yeah. I mean, I heard people talking about the return of the daycare. I don't know about that. I don't know how old Otto is, but he looked like he about 40. Like he has an older man look. I know he's not 40.
He's got a mustache.
Yeah, he looks old. He looks old though.
Well, he's not.
He look old.
How old do you think he looks? 40?
He look about 30. He looked 31.
No, he's not 30.
He do. I mean, I know he's not 30, but he looks older.
I think he's 25 years old.
He's not aging well right now. He probably need to quit.
Got 3 hits last night.
Smoking them Black and Miles and staying up late. I'm just saying. I'm not the. Otto looks old, man.
He's
young. I know he's young, but he look old. He's what they call an old soul.
Well, I don't care what he is, 25, 30, 40. He had 3 hits last night. That's what I care about.
He did.
All right, let's get into it. 215-592-9494. That's how you hop aboard. All right, Hugh, go ahead. Take the victory lap. Tell everyone you were right yesterday. You guaranteed a victory, and then you said, what was the quote? You're the only true baseball guy at WIP?
You know what? I did that because
okay.
I knew it was going to be this morning. and I don't like to take victory laps, man.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I do.
What was that on Twitter?
Every day.
You know what? It's not so much. Full disclosure. I just like to be annoying because I know it annoys both of you guys when I do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest. Y'all had me on the ropes yesterday. You guys and you people. But I stayed true to who I am and what I believe in. I even had people texting me talking, do you really believe that? I believed it. But you were making some valid points. Like I'm still rooted in reality. And you were making
I don't know about that.
Okay. But I said it with conviction.
You did.
I said it
with a straight face.
and it was one of those things, man, where you have to, these are the tough moments. And I'm convinced they listen to the station. I'm convinced in some capacity they listen to the station because I talked about yesterday, somebody has to be the spark.
Yep.
And Otto was the spark yesterday with his old looking ass. He was the spark for this team yesterday. 25-year-old ass looking like he about 35. And he, the way he attacked the bases and everything, he was not going to be denied. And that's what you need. When you talk about suburban energy and trying to fight through suburban energy, he fought through that last night.
He brought a spark. He absolutely did. Let's hear from Otto Kemp after the game. So he had the bunt there, right? And listen to this. Otto Kemp apparently hasn't bunted in 4 years? Here's Kemp after the game.
Bunted in game.
I think summer ball in St. Cloud, Minnesota in 2021, and I popped it up straight to the catcher.
So how did it feel to execute it a little bit better?
It was great, yeah. It was great. Just trying to get on top of it and execute.
Well, he did. And then that 11th inning, they did everything right. I mean, those bunts were excellent. I mean, once in a while you get a pair of bunts down that really, really get the defense. I mean, Hugh, they were great bunts, especially the stop bunt had a little backspin on it and moved away from the pitcher. They used small ball last night, and then I give Brandon Marsh a lot of credit because he's stunk out loud this year, and he hasn't done much. The whole month of April didn't get a hit. I mean, literally. But he hit that ball hard last night. I mean, even if the outfielders were further back, that ball was well over everyone's head. That was a good win. Now, here's the question. Do you feel like it was a turning point?
Yes.
All right.
Because you know what happened last night? And I'm not a baseball expert, and we have a lot of them here. And what I said last night, that was more for you and Kyle.
Okay.
That wasn't a shot at the real baseball experts here because I have a tremendous.
Wait.
Spit it out.
Who the real? Not a shot at
Ruben
us.
Amaro Jr.
Oh, okay.
Ben Davis.
Yeah.
And Devin Caney.
Okay. And Devin's our guest at 12 today, so. No, she's fine. She's our Phillies. She covers the Phillies.
But those are the three.
I thought you were reeling off Phillies, like former
players.
And
you know what? I'm
going
to go ahead. I'll give a shout out to my man, Jack. Jack's had a rough week. Jack's a baseball expert. I give him his props.
But he fell down the rankings.
No, I'm just saying. I'm going to give Jack his props.
All right, so go ahead, Mr. Baseball over here. Tom Selleck. Turning point?
And Otto Kemp, for me, was the shot in the arm because you know what happened last night? In my humble opinion, he shamed everybody else into doing better. And what I mean by that is he came in with that want to. That's what I saw last night. I saw want to. I saw the aggressiveness on the base pads. I saw aggressiveness at the plate. And when you have a guy that's like that, as a teammate, you don't want to let him down, especially dude that's just coming up. Like, he just got here, and he went out there, and he played like he wanted to stay.
Yep.
You know, and, you know, we talk a lot about suburban energy and guys that aren't a cut. Like, when you're used to struggling, you fight through adversity. You know, these cats, for whatever reason, they don't respond to adversity. He did.
Well, to go off of the Otto Kemp example, he's undrafted. There are very few MLB, because MLB has so many rounds, right? Like, football, you get the undrafted player pretty often, right? Like once a year, every team probably has one on the roster. Mm-hmm. It's cool, right? But it's not unheard of to have an undrafted player become a good NFL player. In baseball, it is exceedingly rare to have an undrafted player stick in Major League Baseball. I think there's only one right now that's a good player, T.J. Friedel in Cincinnati. It's just like, it doesn't happen. So you're right. He is playing for his life. I mean, he's playing for his career. He's up here. He's got a shot. I hope he plays again tonight and tomorrow. As long as Harper's out, get Otto Kemp in the lineup. Look, last night was an awesome win. It was exhilarating in the 11th inning. The bunts were cool. The crowd was into it. Marsh got a hit. But do I have to be the drunk uncle at the barbecue today?
Yes.
We had 3 ground ball double plays last night. Bohm's still in a big spot. Looks like he's about to wail out there and cry and walk off the field and need help. Mm-hmm. And then I have to deal with the fact that they blew it in the 8th inning. Strom blew the game.
He did.
Gave up a run. Blew it.
It was a home run. Was it a home run?
It was a home run. Yeah, it was a home run in the 8th inning. So the bullpen blew it. They needed 11 innings to score 4 runs. They leave runners on base all night. We didn't even mention how many outs they make on the bases. Sosa and Castellanos and Turner. I know the Turner one was tricky because it looked like it might have been a balk. They made 3 outs on the bases. And I'm supposed to sit here and think last night was a turning point.
Because
they got lucky.
Out of all of that, they still won the game. Sometimes lucky. It's better to be lucky than good.
Well,
Joe.
Look, I'm happy they won the game, and it certainly was a nice night for the win. But come on, they played like crap for 3 hours.
Think about it like this, and we always like to draw parallels to the watershed moment, if you will, for the Philadelphia Eagles. That game against the Cleveland Browns wasn't pretty.
It was not. The offense was struggled. Yeah.
It was a spark.
They had Myles Garrett blocked the field goal before halftime?
And see, this is the thing that...
Wow, did you just compare it to the Browns? We didn't lose for 2 months after that.
First of all, I know it's baseball, so you're not about to pin me down.
Wow, put the headline up. Hugh Douglas says Phillies will go on 2-month run.
You are not
starting today.
You are not about to pin me down like that,
You
Joe.
made the comp.
But... And see, the fact that Kyle's being petty this morning does not help any of this. But I will say this. As ugly as that was last night, you beat a good team.
That's true.
And you weren't picked to win. Like, when you look at the percentages, you had like a 47% chance of winning that game. So it was like, because you had Will on the mound.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was handling his business last night. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of errors there. And I'm not trying to sit here and tell anybody that has been watching baseball their whole life that this is, this was a great win, anything like that. But it's a win. And that's the only thing that matters against a good baseball team. And you got the spark that you needed. The one thing that I said yesterday, before the game, they needed a spark.
They did, and Otto was that.
They got that.
Yeah. No, look, I will say this. It wasn't a pretty win. There was a lot of things in there that still drive. I mean, the base running was horrendous last night. Yeah. They made an error in the field. The bullpen blew it in the 8th inning. That all being said, it was an important win, right? Like, they needed that last night because if they didn't get that, the losing streak would have reached, 6? It would have been 10 out of 11. I mean, all the doom and gloom would have continued. 215-592-9490 for Do You Believe We're going to remember last night as a turning point of the Phillies season. Hugh Douglas is there. I'm not willing to go there. I'm happy they won the game, and it was a nice hit by Marsh, and a really fun 11th inning, with the 2 bunts. That you don't see often. I'm just not willing to say after the garbage I watched for a week and a half that last night was a turning point. Kyle, where do you come down as the Phillies win it in 11 last night?
Turning point where exactly?
I don't know.
That was, without a doubt, one of the most aggravating walk-off wins
I know.
I was ever so witnessed
mad.
in my entire
life. When they had
life.
all those base running outs on the base, like, this is the dumbest team in the league.
I was literally pissed off until maybe even 5 minutes after Marsh hit the walk-off. Like, I was still taking everything in. Like, why were we even in this situation? The fact that the 2 bunts was cool and all, but what that just showed me is that, we don't trust ourselves to get a hit in a big moment whatsoever. We had to resort to bunting with a guy who look, we just heard he hasn't bunted since 2021. I mean, some kid making his what's his 4th game in baseball? I'm not buying into it being a turning point yet. I can't do that.
Y'all get caught up on the wrong. I get it. I totally understand.
They played like crap for 3 hours.
And he did what he had to do.
Yes.
To help win.
I'm an Otto Kemp guy. You're the one that called him 40.
But you can also look at it as though they did everything in their power to try and lose that game. Yeah. Strom blowing it, Alec Boehm, we're back to this mopey nonsense with Alec Boehm again.
Yeah, that was a lot.
JT and Sosa, every time they get up to the plate, it's a feeble ground ball to the left side. Every time they had a man on base, it's like, how can I hit into a double play here? I don't know. If it had looked a little differently, I might be able to go there with you, Hugh. But I get it. I can't go there.
They made 3 outs on the bases last night. 3. You shouldn't see 3 in 3 weeks, let alone 3
I get where you're coming from. And like I said, I'm not trying to make anybody feel different. This is how I feel. And I feel that it starts every momentum swing starts somewhere. It does.
That's true.
And for everything you're saying is correct. But for whatever reason, that want to was more than the errors that you made. See, that's the thing that people don't understand is a lot of times it's that want to that pushes you through to the victory. And that's kind of what I saw last night, and that could potentially be the spark for this team.
Yeah, and they did get scoreless innings out of Banks. They got a scoreless inning out of Kirker, who's been better lately. Even Romano to pitch in extra innings with runners on and not give up, not allow a run to score. That was big time. So look, there were some positive things, led obviously by Otto Kemp, 3 hits in his first game at Citizens Bank Park last night. But are we going to remember this as a turning point? I need to see a lot more before I go there. Hugh's there, 215-592-9494. Tell you how, we got a lot to do today. Mark Ross, who used to work for the Eagles, now NFL Network, he recently said he would not be surprised. It feels like he thinks there's a chance the Eagles trade for Trey Hendrickson before the start of the season. We're going to talk to Mark about the Eagles' defense. Does Howie have another move up his sleeve? Eagles minicamp today. Nick Sirianni set to speak later this afternoon. So we got a lot going on here. We'll also have Devin on the show, as we usually do on Tuesdays, with the Phils and a lot of Eagles to get to. 215-592-9494. We start with the Phillies. Are we going to remember last night as a turning point? Hugh Douglas says yes.